Alright, how's it going, everybody? I'm going on. It says Capital Goo. How do you do? And today we're here to continue off from where we left off in our Pokemon SoulSilver randomized Nuzlocke. And, last episode we got deep, but we also beat the Still Gym. And, again, let's go music things. Jelly Roll, listen to Life's a Boat, which is also the ending to Bleach. There was some, personal stuff to it too, but I'm not going to get into that. We can be more not preachy. Uh, Not sure if that's get a great way of doing everything, saying it, but hey, that's kind of. I felt I feel pretty good about how last episode went, and I'm not really looking to. I'm not going to try and make that a common thing either. Like that's a don't even. I'm not. Don't expect me to make those things super common. It was just kind of what everything led to, which is interesting in life. But I mean, God, yeah, you know what? I don't think I've, I've at this point right now, which still is that Thursday morning at 2 a.m., closer to 3 now, and I've for the last 2 weeks I've been editing for a dude. Hopefully I might put down in his description. In the description, some of y'all might come from his description. I don't know. Shout out Gil though for giving me an opportunity. And I've not been the best at editing, and I think I've figured out the way that I look at editing. Like I don't I don't really like having all the extra foo foo or whatever. I don't know if that's even the right way to say it, but I don't like having all the just extra stuff. So it is interesting, which I mean you all can see. I try to just record these around 30, and we're just rocking from that because it's just I don't know. Well, one, I guess I don't know. I might not fully appreciate the effort that goes into editing, but also I just I don't like to me. I don't like having all the cuts and everything, which and the edits I'm doing for him, for Gil, I've kind of like I don't know how I feel about it. And if anyone is coming from that, if you like it, hi, I'm the one who does the editing. If you hate it and you want to come hate on the dude, hi, I'm the one who does the editing right now. Um, it's it's interesting. Um, because I do have a my process whenever I try and edit anything is I'm a big notes taker. And the thing about being a notes taker when it comes to editing is it really makes everything kind of it really draws the process out because I'm gonna watch over it and I'll be like, okay, how do I feel about this? Okay, um, this probably kills. Yeah, I don't know what I was thinking, but all right. But I edit and I hit a point where I'm like, all right, uh, with after killing the barboach, all that stuff too, and I was talking about editing for Gil and just the whole process of editing because I mean, we're gonna get deep on today's episode too, I guess. Screw it. Talk about how you feel or what you feel. And editing, I have kind of felt like, which I guess I talked about depression some last episode. So I mean, it's not a shocker for me to say that. But like, there's kind of just like that depression of not having a job, which I know it's. I mean, I get a job and I'll probably be like, man, this sucks. I miss not having one, but it's just weird. It is just weird whenever you think of a lot of things. And we're at the Lake of Rage here. Water's deep blue. You know what? Big, big episode because I know there's a lot of people who like this stuff. I had a comment on this. Shout out to you, dude. I'm sorry about names. I don't have stuff pulled up. My bad, my bad, my bad. But I know you're excited about this. Ready? Is that a Piplup? Oh, it's an Ambipom. Well, I mean, hey, same generation. Um, but yeah, whenever I edit for whenever I edit, and this was like with school and like with college, all everything. I'm a like I will I look over clips. I kind of figure out what I like, but I have to make note of stuff. So it'll be it could be like, oh, I want to make this cut here. So I'll make a note of I need to make a cut there, or like, oh, this is something to add on. So I guess we can add on to at this spot. So I'll put that as a note. I mean, it's oh, don't um, but yeah, it's that's kind of how I edit, and I do something. You do some things to make it like as it's like math. Everyone like there's like one way you're supposed to do it, but there's like a million ways you can do it that's going to confuse the crap out of someone else. And if if you all don't know about that, then y'all need to do something about. Y'all need to figure out that one because that's a true fact to it. And but like so with but with my edits, it's it is list like you got to watch it and then okay. And another thing with editing is you can't just edit it and be and call it quits or and you can't edit call it quits. You have to edit and then you have to watch it back and then you have to so like you pretty much edit a rough copy, then you edit another copy, or you watch over it and you're like, okay, what can I do? And then you add to that. But then after that, you can end up and do a couple more, and it's just kind of and I end up I end up watch go oh my goodness. I end up with a couple I don't hold on. I end up whenever I edit, I've ended up and like I'm sitting there, I'm like, man, I really wish I could actually be editing for a job. And I get that thought. And then I also get the thought of, man, could you imagine if I was? Oh, let's go. I sped up because I thought I was going to just have it break out, and then he was gonna run. So, but I've also been like, man, I should really put more effort into what I'm doing for this too. And it's I don't I get down on myself way too easily, and I do feel I really don't know if I'm doing good enough. I do I do struggle with that stuff. So that's I guess this is me just crying and just having a pity party for one. So there is that. I gotta do some stuff with Photoshop, which not really been a person who does Photoshop too. So that was I mean it's scary to do that. Like I don't want to mess up, and I feel like it's definitely like one of the worst mindsets to have. It is absolutely one of the worst mindsets to have going forward. What is? Oh, Sammy still has the cherish ball, and I just some stuff I need to work on that. But I'm gonna. Okay, yeah. Um, it is it is a little bit of a drag, we should say, and it sometimes feels very like I will say though I done a and you guys might not care about this at all, but I figured out like you how to mask so you can like pretty much layer like two scenes, and like I can like I could cut one I could cut one screen and or like I could mask it and you wouldn't. Hopefully, I could get to where I'm good enough where you all wouldn't see what I've actually done. But what I could do though is I could be able to make this screen, the game screen, I could make it in black and white, and just being able to figure that, or like I could mask it, and I can just change like everything to it. It's it's so interesting, and it's so interesting, but so is I I'm so happy for like my interest in editing. Like it, I'm so I love my interest in editing, but I hate it. And we're gonna get into some fun stuff because it's hard to watch movies sometimes whenever you after you've taken movie classes in college. And whenever I say movie classes, which I mean I had pretty much like a movie appreciation class. It seemed like, but like it was a film class. I did take a script writing class too, which I absolutely sucked at that. So, um, yeah, they said I was more just a journalist and not a media person, which really kind of hurt because they said I was too plain. But I I feel like sometimes I go really cookie cutter. Just I go cookie cutter a lot, but it's also like I feel like it's sometimes like the best. I mean, I guess. Oh my goodness, was just about to say it. I caught what I was about to say. I'm like, man, maybe I am just really cookie cutter, but I mean, sometimes some of the best stuff is like the just plain, most plain. I mean, if you think something's gonna go real overboard, then it's like, oh wait, but yeah, I don't know what we're truly going on here. Bronzor. We'll go. But yeah, that's kind of a thought I had, and watch it. I don't know what. I feel like that's one of those things. Oh, that's a thought I have, and it's just kind of one of my ways of explaining myself. You're getting a real look into the brain of how I think, and I bet most of y'all are like, "Oh, it sucks." Goodness, get to the being entertaining, and it's like, I'm sorry, but I don't know if you can really expect much entertaining from me in a span of. Oh, I forgot to mute my headset. Ah. Okay, so I say when I say I forgot to mute my headset on OBS, I forgot to mute my headset, my mic, which I do use a headset mic. I've been thinking about going Blue Yeti or what, some kind of like really good like streaming microphone, but at the same time, I'm like, is it worth it with just where I'm at and all of this? And short story short, no, I don't think it is. But at this point at least, I think it would be. Hopefully, this YouTube thing can really pick up at soon, and we can. I mean, the YouTube thing can pick up at some point, and we can be like, you know what? Maybe it's worth it to go get a big mic, maybe. But no, we were. But movies editing, it does with movies. I will over analytic, and some things I do is I try and figure out what could get to a point in a movie. I'm like, oh, this is how it's going to end, and it kind of just turns you off from it a little bit, at least. And then, so I'll just be sitting there and I'll be like, is that good? I don't know, but I've it was really interesting because most things with editing, I'm able to like. I feel like I have a very open viewpoint when it comes to editing, because editing is an art, and whenever I say editing is an art, it's not oh, you can't do it because no, editing's an art because I mean everyone has a different eye for it, and something. I mean, in college you get taught like, oh hey, look for this, look for that, but I think like one of my best, my best rule of editing is I learned in college, and just like with video stuff, is there are no rules, and there are no rules because it's your viewpoint. Well, I mean, it's like you're telling the story. So I mean, like if I edit something and someone says it's not well edited, I mean, fair dues, fair, because I mean they might. Like, their editing might not appeal to me at all either. I think there's a lot to that, and I think editing is. I think that's such an interesting aspect of editing. It's just like the art of it. Because it really. Like, he can do anything. And whenever it says, like, there are no rules when it comes to editing, one of the main thought process behind that is, like, jump cuts are deemed like they're pretty much a taboo like for editing. But the thing is there might be an instance where you are trying to edit something and then you're like, you know what? this jump cut works. So that jump cut that would be considered wrong still works. And I love that aspect of just like, yeah, I mean, is it technically not the, I mean, does it really go against like the conventions? Yeah. Is it in your viewpoint and does it make the video look, or does it go towards your viewpoint though on what the video should be? And if it does, it's good. It's a good edit. And I love that stuff. Which I guess it's great to be told there's not a wrong. I mean, there's not a wrong answer because it's your viewpoint. The only wrong answer would be, well, I mean, if you're given a script and you go against it, I mean, like, you could, like, if you tell a whole different story, then yeah, you're wrong for, like, the basis of what you're supposed to do. And that's just, it's interesting. And how many times can I say it's interesting? It's pretty interesting the amount that I would probably say that. Yeah, I mean, there's just so much to everything that editing, life, and I guess like what I was really trying to say. I mean, I started talking about editing for Gil, and it kind of just does devolve into how you feeling at the moment, and I mean, life's good. I feel that I'm able to make like I feel like there's things where I'm like, oh, this really works, and you get happy, like you make a good edit, you feel good about yourself. You spend 2 hours on an edit and it ends up being so bad you just scrap it and you're like, okay, yeah, this sucks. Definitely not as good of a feeling. And probably should just speed some of this up, so I don't like the sound of how it is, but I'm trying to think of Oh, I do want to make mention of one thing that I was thinking of earlier too. I said what I said about editing and how like everyone has like their styles to it, and how it's art. And if anyone's seen the movies, then you can let me know how you all feel. Because I walked into the living room, and my dad's sitting there watching one of the Wonder Woman movies. I started like watching the movie a little bit too, and just sitting there, everything felt off. Like it felt like every scene was like a second early or a second late, or like, and I mean like every cut was a second early or a second late, not every scene. And I'm just sitting there like, this is awful. And I watched the Justice League, and I think a part of it is I hate the effects they do for Wonder Woman. And because I was able to watch the Justice League, and I'm like, okay, does it have its flaws? Yes. Can I watch this? Yes. But then, anytime Wonder Woman showed up, I was like, ugh, like something didn't sit right. And I feel like it was either like with the motion, it was something. And if you ask me how I would do it, you know what I would tell you? I don't know. Because I mean, it's something I don't really know the effects. I'd love. I mean, I always want to grow and figure out more to editing, but I'll be honest with you. I have no idea what I would really do in regards to that. I would throw out the argument that whoever was editing it, it's probably not their fault because an editor's job is to do the best with what you're given, and there's a possibility that that's the best. There might be some footage that I would have done a whole different way, but I kind of highly doubt. I mean, I highly doubt that because it does feel like the effects are what really, truly like unsettle me. But yeah, it's let me know on that how y'all felt. Like that's a good comment below. Let me know. And if I were to really just deep dive, trying to think of other movies, I made mention of Life's a Boat ending song on the first season, first whatever of Bleach. I was watching. I did watch Bleach, and I was watching Bleach this one time, and it was the Ichigo versus Grimjaw fight, which amazing fight, and this is the one in Las Noches. So if y'all are wondering, so this is the showdown as far as that goes. And Surf Ice Beam, let's go. Oh, that's powerful. But I was watching that and I'm like, oh my goodness, like I have such a I love anime, and I've started just like animation stuff too, just in general, because it's so amazing how there is someone who's able to. I mean, it's like a camera. You're making the scene, so you're making a movie, but how are you like? You gotta have an idea of how to set up a live action, and then you draw it. Like, you pretty much have to frame that whole thing, and it's such a insane thought process because, you get and and I could be wrong on this, but with the Creed movies coming out, Michael B. Jordan had something where he was talking about there's like just something to the anime fight scenes, which is true there, and like they are able to just capture an angle that's like just it's inhuman, but it's like it's a thing that's so hard to really capture in that live action sense, or in just like that like the fleshy tone, or I don't know, but there's so much truth to that. It's like how did. And then it's just, I just sit here and I'm thinking, like, how? Like, these people are just huge geniuses as far as, like, what all, like, you can do. And because it's framing, it's shading, it's just, like, storytelling, story process, it's, like, just choreography, it's so amazing, it's something to think about. But I'm gonna let y'all think about that for a while longer, and I'm going to wrap things up today. Thank you all for watching. Thank you all for tuning in. As always, I'm Gun Ostrich as a Capital Goon. Until next time, peace out.